What's going on, man? It's Coach I, and you know I'm with the stat guy, man. Like we continue this thing on. The previous video we did, man, was the SEC East win totals. We back for the SEC West win totals. If you're new to the channel, we talk college football all day, every day, and all of our videos are that. Stat guy's a Gamecock fan. I'm a dog fan, but we try to keep our opinions straight to the point.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
the fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what.
All right, man. That's right, man. We back up in here. What's going on, stat guy? How you feeling today, man?
Hey man, enjoying talking about college football. 75 days away. We June 19th. We're right around the corner.
That's right, man. We're recording this on June the 19th, man. Hey, we're getting these things out. Y'all be sure to follow along, man. Let us know in the comments what you think. Are we too high on the win totals? Are we too low? Are we right on the head, man? Like I say, just a quick overview for win totals. We go by the VegasInsider.com. No, we are not sponsored by them, but I'm just letting you know where we get our info from. But you get a point for a win, you get a half for a toss up, and you don't get any points for a loss. Let's get into it. First up on the board, Alabama. Nick Saban looking to have a redemption type season after the last two. So we're going to start this thing off week one with Middle Tennessee State. That's a win. I don't think we need to talk about that. Week two, we get this thing jumped off. Texas. I got this as a half.
Man, this game is in it's in Bama this year, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, way too close last year. This is the statement win to get the season rolling. Give me Alabama by 90.
Yeah, there it is. All right, so at you, and I don't think I'm reading this wrong. At South Florida. I don't know how that worked out, but yes, I got Alabama at South Florida. Give Alabama the win.
So does that mean that Alabama's on the pay game? Does Alabama get paid to go to South Florida so he can sell tickets?
That's normally how it works, right?
That's how it works. So, but yeah, give me Alabama.
All right, and then they play Ole Miss at home, and then after that they go to Mississippi State. I got them at a win for both of those games.
I also haven't won at both of those games, but you know, anytime Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin lock horns, it is definitely must see TV.
Yeah, Twitter should be fun that week. So, and then I got week 6. They go to Texas A&M. Listen, if they wasn't having quarterback so-called concerns, I probably just give Alabama this straight out. But I'm gonna give them a half here.
I'm giving the straight up win.
There it is. Arkansas. That's a win for Alabama.
Win for Alabama.
Tennessee rolls to town. I gave them a half for Tennessee, so I give them a half for Bama.
I gave Bama the outright win. There's blood to pay for what happened last year up in Knoxville.
There it is. They get an off week and then they take on LSU. I think this could possibly decide the SEC West. I got this as a half, even though it's in Titletown.
Yeah, I gave them a half for this. This is the game of the year.
Got you. At Kentucky, that's a win for Bama.
Win for Bama.
Chattanooga, win for Bama.
Win for Bama.
On the Plains at Auburn, Hugh Freeze is back in the SEC. Crazy things happen on the Plains. I got this as a half.
And it's crazy. We disagree on a lot of stuff, but I went the same thing. I gave him a half here because, man, anytime you're talking about those two teams and a road game, they want everything.
There it is, man. I got Alabama with, crazy enough, 9.5 wins. What do you have them at?
I had Alabama at 11.
All right. And what does Vegas have them at?
Vegas had them at 10.5.
Whew, I'm off a little bit. I could see they probably gave them the win versus Auburn and
A&M.
which would put them at 10.5. Yeah. So either Auburn or A&M. I think Texas, Tennessee, and LSU are all halves for Vegas. All right. Arkansas. I got them. Western Carolina and Kent State both wins.
Wins.
All right. And then BYU at home. I got this as a half. BYU's traveling. I think Arkansas is probably going to get them, but BYU is no pushover.
Yeah, this game was a game we looked forward to last year out in Provo, but coming to SEC country, give me Arkansas all the way. Give them the dub.
All right. At LSU, I got them as a loss.
Loss.
All right. Then they take on Texas A&M, and this is at Jerry's World In Arlington, Texas, I got this as a half.
I got it as a half too.
All right. At Ole Miss in the Fighting Lane Kiffins, I got it as a half.
Half.
I got them losing to Bama at Bama the next week.
I was right there with you.
In week 8, they're taking on Mississippi State at home. I got that as a half.
I have it as a half as well.
Then it's an off week and they travel to Florida. Like I said, when we talked about Florida, I got this as a half.
And I had it as a half as well.
And then they get Auburn at home. I got that as a half.
And I actually gave them the outright win against Auburn.
I can see that. They got Florida International before rivalry week, and I got that as a win for them.
I have them beating FIU.
And then they take on Missouri at home, and I got that as a half as well.
And I gave Arkansas the outright there.
All right, so I got Arkansas with 6.5 wins. What do you have them as?
I had them at 8.
And what does Vegas say?
Vegas split us and went with 7.
There it is. All right, moving on to Auburn, man. Auburn is Hugh Freeze's first year. We know Hugh Freeze. Hey, we might not like what he does away from the field, but the dude can. I would say he can coach. So first year though, first game, UMass win. At Cal. That's a long way to travel. I think Cal's gonna be much improved. I got this as a half.
Win.
They got Samford at home. I got that as a win.
I got that as a win as well.
At Texas A&M, I got that as a half.
On the road, give me A&M.
All right. I got the Dogs coming on the Plains. Just too many Jimmys and Joes. Got the loss for Auburn.
Loss for Auburn.
The off week, and then they got to travel to LSU. It's not a good 2-game stretch there. I got them with the loss there too.
I mean, hey, at least they get to win the bye week in between. I don't know how you sell that, but yeah, give me the loss at LSU.
All right, and then I got them as a half for both the Mississippi schools.
I have them as a half against Mississippi State and a loss against Ole Miss.
Okay, I could definitely see that. At Vandy, I gave them the win.
Gave them the win.
At Arkansas, like I said, that's a half.
Gave them the half.
Win versus New Mexico State.
Right there with you.
And again, because it's on the Plains, never know what's going to happen. I gave them a half against Bama. That leaves me with 7 total wins for Auburn.
And I was at 6.5, and Vegas agrees with me, 6.5.
There it is. I giving them a little bit. I'm giving Freeze a little bit of love there. All right, man. On to one of the contenders in the West, and that's LSU. LSU plays a neutral site, so to say. What is it like in Orlando or something against Florida State? I think both of these teams are definitely top 10 worthy. I think this is going to decide a lot because the team that loses this game has a truly uphill battle. LSU having to fight through the SEC West, including Bama, and then FSU having to take on Clemson over there, maybe even twice in the ACC. So I got this as a half for LSU.
Yeah, I gave LSU a half for this as well. And, this is one of these week 1 games that we've been seeing a lot recently that are a lot of fun because it's implications to the entire season out the gate.
Facts. I got Grambling win for LSU. All right. At Mississippi State, win.
All
right. Got Arkansas. I got them with a win.
All
right. And then I got at Ole Miss. I actually got this as a half. All right. At Mizzou, I got them as a win. Auburn, win. Army, win. Off week, and then at Bama, I got this as a half.
I gave it a half as well.
All right. And then Florida, as we talked about earlier, I got this Florida at home. I got this as a win for LSU. Georgia State, win for LSU. And then a half at home versus Texas A&M.
And I gave LSU the outright.
All right. I got LSU at 10 wins. What do you have them as?
I have LSU at 10.5.
All right. And what does Vegas say?
Vegas was a little bit underneath us. Vegas gives them 9.5.
All right. Vegas is hating on them. I guess you could say, that Florida game, I guess, because of the rivalry or whatever. But I can see that. All right, on to Ole Miss, man. Ole Miss is Mercer at Tulane and Georgia Tech. I got them 3-0.
3-0.
At Bama, I got them with a straight up loss.
3-1.
All right. Then they got LSU at home, and I got this as a half for Lane Kiffin. He might be able to pull something out the hat.
And I gave them a half as well.
All right, and then I got Arkansas. That's a half just because I think those two teams are kind of up and down.
I gave it to Ole Miss.
The off week, and then it's to Auburn in week 8. I got a half there as well.
And I gave that to Ole Miss.
Okay, and then you got Vandy. That's a win for Ole Miss.
That's a win for Ole Miss.
Texas A&M. That is a half.
Home or away?
It is at home.
On the Grove, I'll give them the win.
All right, and then at UGA, I got them with the loss there.
Loss.
Against Louisiana Monroe, that's a win. And then at Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, where you never know what's going to happen, I got it as a half, even though I think Ole Miss may be the better team.
And I'm right there with you. I got win and then a half.
All right, so I got Ole Miss as 7.5 wins.
And I had Ole Miss at 9, and I'm way over because Vegas is at 6.5.
Ooh, so woo. Yeah, that is way over there. Okay. Well, I think because you gave him a win against Arkansas. That was one. And then you might have gave them a win. A half against. No, you gave them a win against somebody else that Vegas probably did. A&M. Yeah. That's probably it. That'll make up that gap. All right. On to Mississippi State. All right. So Southeast Louisiana win. Then they got Arizona at home, if I'm not mistaken. I got this as a half.
Man, Arizona is not good. It's a win.
I kind of do wonder, rest in peace, Mike Leach. I kind of wonder how they're going to respond, in a full season, without Mike Leach at the helm. Then they got LSU at home. I got that as an outright loss.
I have LSU as a loss as well.
All right. At South Carolina, I got that as a loss.
I got it as a loss.
Bama at home, I got that as a loss.
Loss.
Western Michigan is a win. Then they get an off week. At Arkansas, I got that as a half.
I gave them the half there as well.
At Auburn, that's a half.
Gave them the half there as well.
Kentucky at home, that's a half.
I gave that game to Kentucky.
At Texas A&M, that's a half.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's a half.
I just don't know, man. Like if they can have that same offense and Jimbo doesn't stay out of the offense at Texas A&M, we just don't know what can happen. Texas A&M does have the more talented roster by far. Southern Miss right before rivalry week, that's a win. And then the Egg Bowl, like we said, I got them splitting that one.
Half.
All right, man. I got Mississippi State with 6 wins.
I'm right there with you at 6, and we're some haters because Vegas has them at 6.5.
There it is. We're only a half off, not much. To finish up the SEC West, we got Jimbo and his newly lamented offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino. Hey, listen, man. We don't know what's going on outside the field, but we do know that Bobby Petrino can put up some points. So if Jimbo can stay out of the offense's way, then they might be in good shape with all those recruits that they got, even though they lost a lot of them. So we got Texas A&M. First game is New Mexico. That's a win.
Win. At
Miami, I got it. That's a half.
Half.
Louisiana Monroe, that's a win. And then you got Auburn at home. Again, we gave them a half of that.
I was right there with you at a half.
All right. And then Arkansas at home, that's a half.
That was a half.
Oh, that's not at home. Sorry. Correction. That is at Jerry's World. Yeah. Bama at home, I gave them a half.
I gave them the L.
At Tennessee, that's a half.
I gave that straight up to Tennessee.
And then they're coming off the off week, going playing South Carolina at home. That's a half.
I gave them the loss.
And then at Ole Miss, that's a half.
I gave them the half against Ole Miss.
And then Mississippi State at home, that's a half.
Gave them the half.
And then Abilene Christian, of course, is a win. And then LSU during rivalry week at home, I gave them a half.
And I said that was all LSU.
All right. And then, so I got Texas A&M at 7.5. What do you have them at?
I'll have them at 5.5. And Vegas agrees with you at 7.5. Obviously, they don't call me the delusional South Carolina fan for nothing. Me giving South Carolina the outright, as well as a couple halves here and there that I scrape by because I don't like A&M. That's where the difference is there. But 7.5 isn't bad.
Yeah, 7.5 right there on par. All right, there it is, man. The SEC West. If you agree, disagree, let us know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for the Stat Guy. This is Coach I, Fan Addict. We out of here.
We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound. Let's go eat. Turn on the Fan Addict. Let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off they plate?